Hi, my name is Marion, but I also answer to Charlotte, as I have a twin sister who looks just like me, so I'm used to being called either Marion or Charlotte. I'm the founder of the association Pépites Sexistes, which means sexist nuggets in English. It's an association whose goal is to create awareness about stereotyped and sexist marketing. We gather more than 350,000 people on social networks, which kind of makes me a feminist marketing activist, you know. I've never intended to become one. Yet, many events led me to this moment, and I'll share them with you so that maybe you'd like to become one after this talk. So I just told you about Charlotte, and growing up with a twin sister was really my first experience with stereotypes. As I said, Charlotte and I look like each other, especially when we were children. So our parents decided that each one of us would wear a different color, so that people, our friends and family, could distinguish us. Charlotte was in pink, and I was in blue. So for me, the pink and blue divide was really the Charlotte and Marion divide. So when as a child I went to toy stores, I automatically ran towards the blue aisle, as blue was a color I assimilated with myself, and Charlotte ran towards the pink section. At that time, we were just happy that each one of us could get an entire toy section dedicated to ourselves. But yet, we felt kind of weird about that. Why did my blue section add all the trucks and weapons, while Charlotte's pink section had all the dolls? And yeah, we're twins, but we were still children. And I don't know if you have children in your entourage, but private property is a concept well understood by siblings. So my toys were mine, and Charlotte's toys were hers. So if I wanted a doll, I had to go to her section to get one, which kind of annoyed me, you know. We quickly realized that these colors had also a real different meaning. Blue was not only my color, but also, and above all, boys' color. So I didn't have a toy section for myself. In fact, I wasn't even supposed to go there, as the girls' toys were in the other section, in Charlotte's section. When two products existed, one in blue and one in pink, the blue one was not for me. It was for boys. This blue toothbrush, for instance, not for me, but the boy version of the pink one. This blue bag of sweets, not for me, but reserved for boys. Are you crying yet? I quickly started to go in the pink section, or to choose the pink packaging, as I started to feel and comply with the gender pressure these colors meant. I'm sure I'm not the only one who experienced that pressure. Many children must have been confronted with their favorite toys being in the wrong section. And in this situation, either you comply with the norm and find another toy, or you decide to choose it anyway, but then you expose yourself to comments such as, "Don't take that, it's for girls," or "Drop it, it's for boys." Segmenting toys by gender isn't only a big source of disappointment for my younger self. It's also teaching children that some toys are for girls and some toys are for boys. And this means two things. One, it implies that boys and girls don't play together. And two, it means that men and women shouldn't have the same hobbies, skills, qualities, that some are feminine while others are masculine. If I told you that my parents pressured Charlotte to choose toys in the pink section and pressured me to choose toys in the blue section, it will sound weird, right? Yet, that's what gender marketing does to children, according to whether they're boys or girls. A really common stereotype we face as twins is the fact that people see you as one entity, the twins. "Hey, the twins, how are you? The twins, come here. What do the twins want for Christmas? The twins, the twins, the twins." I don't know if you feel me on this, but trust me, it's really annoying. For a lot of people, twins are not two different people with their own personalities and tastes, but one entity that thinks and acts as a whole. In other words, having a twin confronts you really early with the concept of essentialization, which is focusing on one attribute and thinking that all the people with this attribute want and like the same things. Sounds familiar? Well, you may not have a twin, but trust me, you've experienced it, as it is what marketing does when segmenting products by targeting men or women. We assume that women are all the same, and so want and like the same things, and that men are all the same, and so want and like the same things. The stereotypes we find in the marketing that targets children are the same we find in the marketing that targets adults. It's really how it starts and how it continues. When we teach children that girls' toys are toys that mostly focus on how to be a good mom or a good housekeeper, it then appears normal to see that cleaning products and baby products mostly target women. In fact, according to a Kantar study from 2019, 98% of laundry products and baby products target women. 98%. What about that? Well, good question. And by the way, targeting mostly women for baby products isn't only sexist, it's also really heteronormative. Mother's Day, for instance, could really be renamed Housekeeping Day at this point. It's all about vacuums and irons. This essentialization of men and women allows us to see ridiculous and stupid things, excuse my French, such as toothbrush covers for men or manicure kit for men, but also sexist ads and products based on outdated stereotypes such as pink batteries for girls or soup for glamorous queens. So yeah, essentialization is a concept I quickly learned about being a twin, and let me tell you another anecdote about Charlotte and me. I can't count the number of times people have asked us if we could read each other's mind. So spoiler alert, for those who believe this, we cannot. But trust me, we've tried really hard. Everyone was asking us that same question, so we really thought that we should, that we could. We sat in front of each other and tried. Okay, guess what I'm thinking right now? But it didn't work, of course. It was so disappointing. We were sure other twins could do it, and maybe there was something wrong with us. And that's the thing with stereotypes. By keeping hearing them over and over again, we believe they're true. Same goes for gender stereotypes. Just as Charlotte and I felt bad about not being able to read each other's mind, some people acting and liking things out of the binary gender boxes may feel bad about it, and it can have harmful consequences, such as discrimination and harassment. There are plenty of stories of little boys who were harassed because they were pink or because they were nail polish. The stereotypes we found in marketing really normalize a certain way of being a man and a certain way of being a woman. So yes, growing up with a twin sister had been my way to discover stereotypes. And as you've noticed, twin stereotypes feel similar to gender stereotypes, at least in my experience, when I think about the pink and blue segmentation, about essentialization, about assimilation. If we could find these gender stereotypes funny, as they seem so outdated, they are not trivial. Gender stereotypes are the cement of gender inequalities. Believing that men and women have different skills, hobbies, qualities leads to justifying prejudice and legitimizing inequalities. First, they have consequences on how we act. The fact that we assimilate them explains the parity gap in a lot of fields as boys and girls turn to different orientations and jobs. Then, they have consequences on how we perceive others, as they create biases. According to an Ipsos study from 2018, 46% of French people believe that men are better at handiwork and that women are better at housework. And finally, they have consequences on how we treat others. Men in traditionally feminine jobs face social pressure for it, social judgment. They are more likely to be seen as weak or not real men and to be criticized for it. Also, they are more likely to see their sexual orientation questioned. People agree that gender stereotypes are bad at individual and societal levels. There are plenty of studies about them. Yet, they're still widely spread by marketing. That is why I decided to create Pépites Sexistes, to share examples of stereotyped and sexist marketing, such as product description, ads, job offers, all brand content, in fact, that fuels stereotypes about men and women. 1 year after the creation of the account, I was receiving so many messages that I decided to open the association Pépites Sexistes in order to recruit volunteers who would help me manage the flow of messages. In 2020, I was contacted by a friend living in Mexico. She wanted to open a branch there. I was like, yeah, sure. Marketing is international, so why shouldn't we? Today, Pépites Sexistes has 18 branches across the world and counting. We are not the first to denunciate sexist marketing, but we made this our one and only editorial line. And we have 3 main goals. 1, to gather a community online, to show brands we hear. 2, to mention brands, to show them we see them. And 3, to create awareness by showing this accumulation of Pépites Sexistes. And it works. We received a lot of brand answers, and many people told us that before following us, they didn't realize how sexist marketing was everywhere, but now they do. So, welcome to the club, I guess. As Albert Einstein said, it's harder to crack a prejudice than an atom. Prejudices and stereotypes are part of our lives, but we can do something about them. Talk about them, recognize them, deconstruct them. It's a matter of equality, of course, but also of liberty, as gender norms restrict us in our multidimensionality as individuals. Some progress is being made. In France, for instance, a charter for more mixity in toys, co-written by associations such as Pépites Sexistes, was signed by the toy industry. We see some brands moving away from gender stereotypes, but the road is still long and winding, so let's all become feminist marketing activists. We, as consumers, can have an impact. Saying nothing about sexist marketing means approving it, while speaking up, we make brands to think about it, to improve. So if you see sexist marketing, don't be afraid to talk about it, to share what you think, or just send it to us. We'll help you. Pink and blue should only be a way to help people distinguish between twins, not a way to put people into boxes according to their gender. Thank you.